I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Let's see. Okay, nobody's watching yet. Let's see. All right, guys, sorry. I'll be with you in just a second. All right, so Happy New Year's, guys. Sorry you haven't heard from me or seen me in a while. I think it's going to be an ongoing thing that around the holiday season, I am going to be taking about a month off to be with family. I had a lot of stuff happen. We had a death in the family. Just a crazy month is what December was. It's still kind of crazy, but is what it is. But anyway, guys, I miss talking to y'all. Um, I'm gonna try to make these more common. Um, Fatal, what's up, brother? Uh, yeah, but anyway, back to it. So there's been a lot of chatter in the barber community lately, and it's all about one thing. And it's something I wanted to discuss because it's something that I've had to really evolve with as things has have gone forward, and that's prices. Prices in the barber community, it's I've seen people say, things like have barbers gone astray? Have they gone too far? Have they gone too high with their prices too fast? I, yes and no. And I'm going to address some of that stuff. So, from my opinion, um, when it comes to prices, whenever I first started cutting hair, man, it was 2002. I think my first haircut prices were like $7 or $8 a haircut back then. It was a walk-in only shop, no appointments, just a small little country three-chair shop in Cookeville, Tennessee. And slowly we went up a dollar here, a dollar there. Eventually, it was a jump of $2 to from 10 to 12. And whenever I moved to the Nashville region, much different demographic, um, more expensive. My prices, I want to say I ended up cutting hair at around 22, $23 around that spot. Very nice shop, hot towels with everything we do. It was a good go. But I mean, this is an evolution. And to me, you have to understand your career as that. You have to understand your career as an evolution. You're not going to start off being $100 a cut barber. I hope that we can grasp that because that makes no sense. Your your skill set at the beginning, honestly, once you get out of school, that's just the first part of your education. To me, I call the first 2 years behind the chair boot camp because you've learned your skill set. Now you've got to perfect it. Now you've got to get in there. You've got to get used to talking to people, giving them the barber experience. It's not just you're a barber now, so you should charge this. So, and also, this may just be the way I am. I I don't want to be the most expensive barber in my area. I want to be the busiest barber in my area and charge for what I'm worth. If that sounds crazy, let me know what you think. But the way I view it is, for instance, right now my haircuts are $45 at my, Nashville region shop. I've got a shop in the town I live in down in Alabama that's a much smaller town. And so I work 2 days here, 2 days there. That shop, I don't charge the same. Why? Because the demographic's different. I'm charging for the people I'm trying to serve. So up here in the Nashville region, my shop is, do $45 haircuts. Down there, they're 30. Well, it's not that I'm not worth it. It's that's that region. I am appealing to them. And $30 haircuts down in Jasper, Alabama, that's an expensive haircut. I am probably around the most expensive haircut a guy can get down there in that town. And that's with me dropping my price by $15. So whenever I started to do that, for one thing, I'm trying to get to know the town. Secondly, I'm not as busy. Up here at my Franklin shop, man, I am booked all the time. If I'm on the book, it's packed. And so I can charge $45 a haircut here. Down there, I'm building up my clientele. I'm getting to know people. So it's that's kind of my mindset with that. Um, this $100 haircut thing. I think something I've noticed is a trend for barbers is they seem to want to be charging more and cutting less. Th- That that for one thing, that doesn't give you good security along your career. You want to have a full book of business that will support you. I remember whenever I was in barber school, my barber instructor, because a lot of people don't know this. Some barber schools teach it almost as a uniform thing. Not only do you learn men's hair and hair cutting and shaving and all that, but you also learn hair color, perms, the whole shebang. If you guys don't know that, it's very common. And so my barber instructor was what you call a barber stylist. He worked in salons. He was a very good men's hair cutter, but also did women's haircuts and styles and all that stuff, blowouts. That never appealed to me. And I remember he asked me, why don't I want to do that? Because there's good money in it. I was like, well, his name was Mr. Wayne. That was the school. And I remember telling him about Mr. Wayne, no offense, but if one client that takes 2 hours to do a color or 3 hours to do a color and a cut and all that stuff, excuse me, if they cancel, that's a big chunk of my day. I'd rather have haircut after haircut of all men. So if I have a cancellation, guess what? It doesn't wreck my day. And so to me, that's where my mindset is. It's not about being the most expensive barber in the area. It's about being a good price for my community. That for one, I'm going to attract clients. And once I have clients, they're going to still see my worth. Like here in Franklin, if I was at my original shop I started working at here, they have different tiers of barbers in their shop. I would have been at the top tier. And so I would have been charging, I think $60 is what they charge now. They call it their executive barber. $60 a haircut. Now that's probably the most expensive men's haircut you can get in this area. I don't know how I feel about that. I wouldn't be able to attract new clients unless it was just, very, very good word of mouth. With me now, I'm kind of in the mid tier here at 45, and my quality speaks for itself. My price is attractive. I'm bringing people in. Now, and the thing is, you're going to lose clients. Get used to that. You're going to have people leave for jobs. You're going to have people move away. You're going to lose clients over time. So it's always good to have, even if you're fully booked, a trickling in of new clients. Now I'm approaching the time where I'm possibly going to raise my prices again, go up to 50. And typically that's what I'll do from here on out is, $5 jumps. And I try not to do a jump a year in a row. The last time I did a jump was, I guess, about 2 years ago. And so it's getting close to that time. And so I'm probably going to do that here soon. But I'm being very in, in being very cautious with how I approach that. I don't just want to do it because I want more money. Of course, we all want to make bank. That's the whole point of working. But being a barber, you need to be in tune with your guys. I know that there's a handful of guys that, because I've stretched the boundary of their what they can afford, they're older gentlemen. If I go up to 50, I might lose some of them. Now, what I could do is grandfather them in with their old prices and go up on my prices on everybody else. But then you get the possibility of people talking and spreading that. And all of a sudden, he charges you what? He charges me this. It just causes problems. So whenever I raise my prices, I want to be sure I'm raising my prices for everybody. And so let's see. Somebody says prices only go up in election years. Uh, yeah, I mean, every 4 years is that's a good method. That's a good methodology for that. Um, I also want to do it to where it's not as big of a jump. Like if I would do it every 4 years, I mean, it could be a $10 jump at that point, or a $7 jump. Um, I definitely just don't want to do it 2 years in a row. That's a big one. But that's actually a really good way to look at that. Only go up on election year. So every 4 years, that's whenever you go up in your prices. Um, yeah, it also depends on the economy and yeah. Anyway, but just out of curiosity, and this, if you guys don't have to, cooperate in this if you don't want to, but what is the common price where you're at? I'm just curious. If you don't mind, say what city you're in. What's the common price? Not the expensive price, not the low ball sports clip price, but the common price where you're at. Let's see. Only got 5 people watching right now. Hey, it's fine. It's cool. We'll grow it. We'll get there. Yeah, I haven't heard from me in a month, so I get it. um, Midterm elections too. Hey, that's if I have to listen to the nonsense, I want compensation, dude. No joke, man. I something that used to be a normal thing before everybody started getting so polarized politically. And you know what? This is my channel. I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about. How about that? Um, we're in a very polarized society. You're either right or you're left. You're wrong or you're right. You're this or you're that. I don't enjoy that talk, but you know, we used to be able to have the news on in barbershops. And nowadays, you're just going to piss everybody off. I mean, if you have CNN on, you're going to piss people off. If you have MSNBC on, you're going to piss somebody off. If you have Fox News on, those people are getting pissed off on the other side of that. So it sucks that it's become that, because a barbershop used to be where you'd go catch up on stuff, find out some news, react to stuff together. And nowadays, the only thing I'll keep it on is ESPN. I'm not going to deal with political shit in my shop. I'm not going to do it. Um, but yeah, it's kind of disheartening that's become that. But that was the old days, man. That was, you know 2002 to about 2010. I remember that was quite normal. You just have the news on in the shop, and people wouldn't be butthurt or upset what was on. It was just, this is the news. This is what they watch. But let's see. Jacksonville, Illinois. I charge $25 per haircut. Population is only 19,000. Opening my first shop next week, actually. Thinking about raising my prices just a couple dollars due to this. Well, dude, first off, congratulations. Big congratulations. Opening up a shop is not easy. Um, it's stressful. It's hard work. Getting the vibe right in the place. It's so much to it. How many? If you don't mind me asking, how many chairs are you going to be opening up with? Is it just you at first? Or are you going to be adding a couple chairs, maybe two or three? 19,000 people. 3 chair shop is definitely possible. I wouldn't go much bigger than that in a town that size, but $25 per cut. That's really close to where my place is at in Jasper. We have about 17,000. And like I said, me at 30, I'm on the upper end of that. But yeah, just curious, how many chairs are you gonna be opening up with? But yeah, it's I also, just out of curiosity, are you doing appointments? And if so, are you doing 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute? Just curious. Let's see. Johnny the barber, it will be just myself cutting on floor level, but my fiance is an esthetician and she will be operating from downstairs. Okay. Hey, that's smart, man. Combine. Um, yeah, that's smart. The Anytime somebody, especially in a small town, opening up a shop, it's not a bad idea to open up a shop and it just be you at first. If you have the space for 2 to 3 chairs, that's fantastic. If not, just don't push it too much. I think a big mistake that a lot of people make is assuming that at the moment those doors open, it's going to be covered up. One thing, and this is something to think about, whenever you open up a shop, everybody has somebody they're already seeing. Now, they may not be that into it. You might be looking at, siphoning off some of the sports clips crowd or the great clips crowd. You may already have some of your own clients, leaving from whatever shop you were at, but you're not opening up a shop and all of a sudden a huge influx of people are going to be in your town. And whenever that's the case, you've got to understand that the trickling in of building that business is going to be people who have bad experiences at other places first. And so getting on Facebook, getting on Instagram, putting yourself out there, being sure to tag your town, but also responding to people who have bad experiences and reaching out to them and then having them bring stuff in. So when it comes to opening up a shop, being sure that to realize that you're not going to open those doors and everybody just comes flooding in. They're going to test the waters with you. The first people that's going to come in are bad experience people. You need to wow them. Secondly, man, you're going to have people coming in that they're what I call shop hoppers. Oh, new shop. We'll see what's going on here. They'll do that voice. Oh, what's going on? And you'll come in, hopefully wow them, get those guys. Then randomly, your haircuts are gonna grab people. They're gonna grab attention. And that's whenever you get the best thing of all, which is word of mouth by people you've taken care of. They're gonna be like, hey man, where'd you get that haircut? And they get to tell them. And you don't have to do anything to earn that client other than your work. That's that top tier of advertisement there. But anyway, sorry to ramble on that, guys. I love talking this business. Um, let's see. Fatal says, I look at local sports clips prices and see what competitive see what's competitive because they are profitable. True. Um, you want to compete with those chop shops, and sorry if it's rude to call sports clips a chop shop. At one point, a lot of people don't know this. At one point, it started off as a one shop. It just started off as one shop, and it grew. They opened up more chains, became a corporation. I guess a venture capitalist got a hold of it. That's how that stuff starts. So the first sports clips probably was pretty good. It had the vibe, the locker room vibe, whatever, and then they just spun things. But going off of that, like looking at the chop shops and seeing what level they're at, and maybe just let's say they're all at 20, go 25. Or maybe go 23. It's okay to have an odd number like that. I mean, it's at one point my haircuts were 23, then they were 27, then they were 29, then 32, then 35, then 40, now 45. It's just how it works. Um, Fatal also asked, Woodshed, how much time do you book your haircuts at? I do 30-minute blocks. Whenever I first started cutting, it was all walk-in. And if you guys have never worked in a walk-in shop, especially like a small town walk-in shop, you have hours sometimes of just sitting around in your chair, reading a book, watching a TV show, goofing off. Um, and then all of a sudden, boom, the rush comes in. You'll have your mid-morning rush, your rush around lunch, your 2:30, your after school rush, your after work rush. And so what you have to do is whenever they come in, you have to cut fast. At one point, I would at the top of the hour, I'd watch somebody sit in my chair, and before the next top of the hour, in an hour's time, I'd be doing somewhere between 4 to 8 haircuts. I think 4 to 6 was my sweet spot of what I could get people in and out at. I didn't like that. I mean, yeah, I was doing as much work as I could and doing the best I could, but I was wearing myself down. Whenever I started doing appointments, I saw just the wealth of that. I went to a different shop that did 30-minute increment appointments, and I had time to get to know my clients, which I am big on that. I am that guy who's not just there to make bank. I'm there to make connections too, because that's how you get people talking about you. Maya Angelou famously said, people do not care what you do for them. They care how you made them feel. So with that in mind, yeah, it's good that I give them a good haircut. That always is great. But there's a lot of people who can cut good hair. The way I look at it is, you're in my chair. I'm going to cater to you personality wise. I am I'm a chameleon whenever it comes to things I'm interested in. I have so many interests. So if I can't find something to get along with you on, you are a rarity. I love talking cars, guitars, woodworking, drawing, painting. I'm a Marvel geek, DC geek, Star Wars geek. I love to read books. I love college football. I love pro football. I love talking shit about LeBron James. I'm all those things. I'm all those things. And if I can't find something to vibe with you on, then we're at I don't know what to say. So that's I don't know where I got off on that tangent, but yeah. So having that time, having that 30-minute spot allowed me for one, not to wear my body down. Two, it also allows me to see my day better. Sometimes, you maybe have a new client come in, they don't know what they want. They may take that 30 minutes. You're getting to know them. You're maybe having to recut part of the hair that they want a little bit shorter. It may take that 30 minutes. But if not, I've got clients that I know I can get them in out in 10 minutes. So I can fit somebody in if somebody walks in. So that's another thing. Having 30-minute spots, if you know that you can cut fast, it is nice to have that so you can squeeze somebody in. I'm at the end of a very long day. I cut from 8 to 8 today, and I did 25 haircuts. I am tired. I worked hard. I made bank. But in that time, I had meaningful conversations. And whenever I feel tired anymore, I don't feel tired in my body. I feel tired up here because 25 meaningful conversations in a day, that's exhausting. So I do 30-minute appointments. That's I think it's a kind of a sweet spot of getting to know your clients, giving them top-notch care, top-notch service. But Johnny the Barber, once again, I run off of appointments right now, and I have 128 active, consistent clients on there. But once my doors open, I plan on promoting myself a lot more. I appreciate all of this advice a ton, man. Hey, dude, this is what we're here for. Um, I've been watching a lot of these YouTubers closely here lately, and I'm one of them. I'm one of them. The reason I started doing this, this is kind of the first time I've said this on here. Um, the reason I started doing this is because I used to teach. I used to teach at a barber school, and before I even became a barber, I wanted to be a history teacher. That's just kind of how I'm wired. I love talking about things I enjoy, and I missed it. Whenever I stopped teaching and started cutting behind the chair again, I ached for that. And now, granted, at the time I was managing a shop. We had 7 chairs, 13 barbers. We ran 7 days a week. It was a busy job. And part of my job, because I did have that background in education, was training new barbers. We'd get them in, I'd see where their weak spots at, I'd train them up, I'd help them along. And I enjoyed that. But whenever I left that shop and started doing stuff myself, I really, really ached for that. I missed that. And so the way I look at a lot of the YouTube barber stuff now, I do see guys who are just promoting brands. I try not to be that. I do have brands that I really enjoy and really like. I even have brands I work with and I guess technically kind of work for. I am a consultant and a collaborator with Andis. I am not an influencer for them. There's a difference. They send me stuff and I test it. There's a big difference there. I give them ideas that I have. My relationship with T-Pob is interesting. I mean, he has sent me stuff to work at before, but I never guarantee a good review. That's one thing I always tell him. I never guarantee a good review, and I am never going to be exclusive with any company. I love giving you guys honesty because I do this for you guys. I love barbers. I love young barbers. I love people who are interested in the craft and want to develop themselves. That's why I'm doing this. And also, I saw a hole. So I'm going to get really generic here for a second, or I'm going to generalize, I should say. Most of the barber sphere online, 2 pockets. You have what I call your hip hop barbers and your hipster barbers. You know what I mean whenever I say that? Like hip hop barbers, hipster barbers. I didn't see a lot of people talking to the average Joe barber. Like, look, I like Mumford and Sons, but I also love my Air Force Ones. So I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but I saw that there was not somebody just trying to cater to the average Joe Barber. And I saw that and I was like, man, that's who I am. I'm a little bit of both. I'm 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 a white dude from Tennessee who loves Creed, but I also love hip hop and basketball and football. I can't. I'm in both worlds. Most of us are. I don't understand this need to kind of segregate and be just one style and one this, one that. That's not how I'm wired. That's not who I am. So for me, I just wanted to cater to the average Joe Barber, and I wanted to be honest, real. I'm not doing this to get in league with the company. I'm certainly not doing this to make money. I've been monetized for a while now. I'm not trying to make it to where I'm making bank off YouTube. I appreciate the fact that I have some stuff trickling in now, which allows me to pay for clippers. That's cool. But I'm paying for clippers and then reviewing them and then it's I'm doing this because I love our community. That's the truth of it. So anyway, going on a rant with that. Um, that's why I do this. So I'm glad that you appreciate the advice. I'm not saying I know it all. I don't. I know what I know because I know my own experience. But I'm not trying to be an ambassador. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I want to be an online teacher. That's my dream for this is to eventually create a course that, and it's not going to break the bank. It's nothing like that. I'm not going to try to sell classes at a crazy rate, but I want something to be there to help supplement guys who have gotten out of barber school, who have gotten in the real world of barbering, and they feel like there's something missing. They've got gaps in their skills. That's what my dream for this is. And if I never did that, it'd probably be called like the Woodshed Barber Academy, something like that. But like I said, I'm not sitting here doing this to make money off that. Rant over. Sorry guys, I get really worked up whenever I get excited. Um, so fatal. All right, sorry. Went off on a tangent. Um, I want to add a 30-minute haircut option for a lower rate to get more booked up, and for those who want fast cuts, not so detailed. That's it's something that I think I may be crazy for saying this. You've heard a lot of these influencers, these barber guys online say the same thing, and I think they're right with this. Most clients can't tell the difference between a really good haircut and a great haircut. A lot of the extra work we put into something is for our artistic eye. So if you're spending a whole lot of time trying to fix a little problem that this person is not even seeing, there is no such thing as a perfect canvas of hair. There's just not. Do your best and move on to the next thing. I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, Fatal, but I'm just saying like 30 minutes should be plenty of time to give a really, really good haircut. Now, if you do a 45-minute option, is that what you're doing, or are you doing a full hour? Because whenever it comes to, you know, if you're doing a haircut, partial shave, beard trim, um, whether it be Beijing or some kind of, enhancement, any of that stuff, yeah, it adds to it and it adds time. But most guys just want to get a haircut and go home. That's, I truly believe that. So, yeah, man, I think a 30-minute option. And what you might notice is, so let's say you charge $60 for an hour haircut. I'm not saying you do, but let's say you do. I'm just going to use this for number reasons. $60. Should your 30-minute be 30? No. Make it 40. If you do two 40-minute haircut or 30-minute haircuts at 40, you've made $80. You've made more than you would have in that hour. I think it's a 30-minute haircuts for me are the sweet spot, man. It's always what's grown my business. It's always what has allowed me to give great services, but also get work done. Because like I said, I worked 11 hours today total. If you take my lunch out of my 12-hour block from 8 to 8, I worked 11 hours, did 25 haircuts. I squeezed a couple people in. If I have a dad and two sons, I can get them all in within an hour. It's a very busy day. Made bank, very busy day, 30-minute haircuts. Oftentimes, I'd have somebody done in 20. And that's just because I work fast nowadays. 23 years, I'm going to work fast. But yeah, I think it's a great idea, Fatal. I do. I think it's a great idea, man. Let's see. Mr. Garcia. Okay. Have you used the VGR 285? Dude, check out my review of that. That is one of my favorite clippers. I love that tool. I think the VGR 285 is called the muscular. I call it the bumblebee. I love that little clipper. To me, it is one of the most comfortable, powerful, compact clippers around. And I'm comparing it to the Play Mini. I'm comparing it to the Low Pro Compact. I think it is top tier. It is a great tool. If you guys don't want to spend crazy amounts of money on all this stuff, get a VGR 285. I would say put a different blade on it. I did put, if I remember correctly, I think I put a um, either a Stylecraft taper blade or maybe a Caliber taper blade. I did one of the taper blades I've got, just an extra taper blade. But yeah, man, that's a great tool. Check out my review of that one. Fatal. Odd numbers work people round them. I'm sorry, I'm out of it, guys. Sorry. Odd numbers work people round them up for you. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't understand what that means, man. I'm sorry. Odd numbers work people round them up for you. Oh, no. God. Oh, man. Odd numbers work. People round them up for you. Yeah. Yeah. Odd numbers work. I mean, like $23 haircuts. Sure. People round it up. They just think, oh, I'm just going to give this guy 25. I'm going to give this guy 30, whatever. I mean, I'm one of those. Now, this is another thing. Talk about prices. I do not expect tips. Some people were not taught to tip barbers. I don't look down on them for that. That's on their parents or whatever. That's on. I appreciate tips, but I live off my haircut money. So I appreciate when they round up. I mean, I have guys who, like I said, $45 haircut. I got a lot of guys who just drop 60 on it. Just give me 60. That I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, I've had people drop 100. Just hey, here you go. Keep the chance. Thank you. Wow. And some people want to say they pay that $100 for their haircut. By the way, if they want to, you can. Um, I'll accept it. Let's see. Fatal also says people are starting to not trust ambassadors and influencers. Yep. I try not to contradict myself, but I mean, I change my mind here and there. I always try to be honest with you guys, and it's not even try. I'm just being honest with you guys. My mind changes sometimes. There's tools that I've had to come back around and circle back on that I was like, man, that's a pretty good tool, or I didn't like that as much after I used it more. That happens sometimes. Um, and also, whenever it comes to, and guys, just realize this: we are in a beautiful, I'm gonna say golden age. We are in a platinum age of barbering right now. So many tools are good. So many tools are good. The the intro level clipper for Andis, for Stylecraft, for Babyliss, for T-Pub, the intro level clipper right now, I would dare say is better than every clipper 10 years ago. Every clipper. And so I would just encourage you guys to just realize that, we have to be nitpicky when we do these reviews. I don't know when the last time was I used a tool that I hated. It's been a while. I try to rank them according to where I think they're at in my head, but man, some of these tools are just really good. And some of the cheap tools are really good. The only thing I remember, I did not like the Kimi 2293, that clipper. I hated the clipper arm on it. I hated how it felt in the hand. It had like a weird angle to it. That's just one of the ones I can think off the top of my head that I couldn't stand. And so I kind of go off, do I like it or love it? Nowadays, we're in a platinum age of barbering, man. And so whenever it comes to influencers, I would say absorb what we have to offer. Like I said, I don't want to consider myself an influencer. I try not to do that. I just want to be a teacher. but I am also a tool nut. So I mean, I guess I have some influence because of the way I talk about these tools. Um, Whenever I signed up to be a consultant and collaborator with Andis, it was vehement in the language. I said, I am not going to be exclusive. I do not guarantee good reviews. And, their whole reason I even got connected with them is because I was so critical. So they want me. That's one thing I will, once again, toot the horn of Matt Andis for. I got his attention by being critical, and he said, "You're right. We need to hear this stuff." So why would I stop doing the thing that actually got me to work with them in the first place? Whenever I see something's good from them, I really think it's good. I truly think it's great. Um, I would say that there's some stuff of theirs I'm not that keen on, but like that's with every brand. Every brand's got their hitters, every brand's got their miss. Um, yeah, it's tough, man. It's there's money to be made in this. By the way, if you guys are wondering, whenever somebody sends me these clippers, like T-Pop has sent me clippers to review, VGR has sent me clippers to review, and this has sent me a lot of tools as well with me collaborating with them and working with them, and they send them to me for free. I appreciate that. However, I have never charged. Let me repeat this. I have never charged, nor will I charge to review a tool. I'm not going to do it. Some people may look at this and say, some of these other video guys may look at that and be like, dude, you're missing money, man. It's bad business. I'm like, no, it's honest. Because the moment I accept money from somebody to review a tool, I've lost my integrity because at that point I'm connected to them in a different way. Now that's the way I view it. I'm not saying that these other guys have lost their integrity. Maybe they're being honest. But I know with me, if I've accepted money from somebody, they're expecting something in return. I say thank you for sending me the tool. I'll let you know what I feel about it. And um, I've had, I think, two companies stop sending me stuff because they didn't like what I had to say. That's fine. If I want to review the tools, I'll purchase them and I'll give the tool review that way. But so far, I mean, T-Paw's been very responsive with my stuff, with what I've been honest with about my thoughts of his tools. Andis has been, Babeless certainly has been. Uh, I've got good relationship with these people, and I do that because I'm being honest with them. But I'm not going to accept money for a review. Just I'm not going to do it. Um, Unwealthy barber. I just went back to using my old masters with the purple mag guards. Boy, those things work good, baby. Corded tools just hit different. That's something I do miss. Man, whenever you first turn on those corded masters, that pop, that kick onto that clipper, it's nostalgia for me. It takes me back to first time I ever used them. Honestly, it takes me back to my dad's barber shop of just hearing that turn on in there. That 76s, hearing those two different noises in his shop is just like uh takes me home. Takes me home. But yeah, I've went back to try using some corded clippers, and I just can't do it, man. I liberated myself from the chains of the cord a long time ago, and I ain't going back. Um, it's it's something that well, I want to say it was around 2014 or 15. Now, interesting enough, there was cordless detachable clippers before there were good cordless adjustable clippers. I don't know if you guys knew that. The BGR from Andis came out with a corded pack and a charger back in like man, 2010, something like that. I started using those back then. Um, but whenever it came to like I think the first one that really caught my eye because there was some attempts at some cordless clippers, but they just never had it down right. The Magic Clip and the Sterling 4 first came out, and for me, I love taper blades. The Sterling 4 came with a taper blade, so instead of the Magic Clip, that's what I went for. I went and got the Wall Sterling 4, and man, that just ever since I did that, I am hooked. on cordless tools. Um, I did use some corded ones for a while, but man, cordless clippers just I don't know if I could ever go back. Let's see. Nick R says Stylecraft sold me a clipper lid that doesn't fit. Come on, Stylecraft. Man, if you don't mind me asking, what clipper is it for? Just curious. What clipper is it for? Um, Johnny the Barber says, "What is your go-to clipper and trimmer combo?" Um, I'll give you a couple different answers. So, combo, like something that would sell together as a duo. Um, I would say probably the T-Pod Play because they come in a set. Um, the for the cost effectiveness, the Play clipper is, I mean, it was clipper of the year last year for me in 2024 or 2024 clipper of the year. Yeah, it did not make it to the 25 clipper of the year for me, but I mean, it is still a top notch tool. The Play Mini, I love that tool. The Play trimmer, once I put the, yeah, with the Play trimmer, once I put on either the Crazy Blade or the Psycho Blade or the Softy Blade, that changed the game for me with that tool. I hated the pencil blade. The pencil blade for me was garbage. And maybe some people had good experience with it, but I could never get mine dialed in. I mean, I worked with it out of the box, did my dial in things with that little screwdriver, could never get it to feel right. Never cut right, just didn't like it. But as far as a combo goes, that's it. My go-to clipper, my go-to trimmer together, like what is that? Not something that you'd buy in a combo, but just separately. The Recon is my go-to clipper. I have 4 of them on my station, and I've got different blades on each of them. I love using that tool. It didn't win Clipper of the Year for me last year, but it is my favorite clipper, if that makes sense. For me, the Phenom was points wise the Clipper of the Year, but my favorite was the Recon. The trimmer wise, I mean the GTX XO with the M-Force blade, which by the way, if you guys don't know, they make a gold M-Force blade. The GTX XO2 with the gold M-Force blade is my go-to setup right now for trimmer. I love that tool. That blade is damn near perfect. Now I will say, if you guys do have a Play or an X Deluxe, right there, the Murano blade, yo, that thing is the closest to the M-Force blade I've found. It is right up there, literally maybe a hair, pun intended, a hair difference. Very, very good blade. I was very skeptical because I don't really know what to think about Murano. I think that some of his approach is, I don't know. Maybe my personality just doesn't vibe with his or something. But that aside, I'm not going to judge him for personality. I'm gonna look at his tool and see what I think. The Murano blade is fire. It's dope. It's good. So that's my separate favorite go-to clipper, favorite go-to trimmer. But set, I would just say get the playset. Playset. Yeah, that came out that way. Um, how much shear work do I do? And are you seeing the trend shift towards longer hair? Uh, I mean, I've always done a lot of shear work. My demographic of client is all over the place. Um, Especially with me having longer hair, a lot of longer haired clients trust me and come to me. One thing I'm big on when it comes to any kind of shag cut, crazy front fringe, just all these, the mullets, all that stuff. I've always prided myself in the fact that whenever I cut long hair, I make it not look like a fresh haircut as far as my shear work goes. It's heavily textured, but it looks like it's been lived in for maybe a week after I've cut it. I always think that they want that lived in look. Now, my lines, my fade, that all looks crispy, but the lived in look is kind of how I do my shear work. I do a lot of shear work. I use big shears. I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of my videos that tie into that. My main go-to shear is I think 8.5 inches. It's a big shear. I've got big hands, so it's I like having a good stretch whenever I do my shear over comb. Um, Majority of my haircuts are probably 30 to 50% shear work, and it's combination cuts. I don't do many haircuts where it's just clippers. So yeah. I am seeing a trend towards it. I am seeing a lot of guys, especially a lot of the younger guys, starting to cut off their mullets, which I am completely okay with. Um, and starting to do more like lower blowout tapers, even just shaggy tops with just a nice mid fade. I'm seeing a lot of that. I think trend wise, and this is we don't have a homogenized society anymore. We have different pockets here and there. So we see a whole lot more hairstyles now than we've ever seen before. And so just keeping up with it is I guess the challenge, but what makes it different. Um, but yeah, yeah, a whole lot more longer hair is being toyed with. Let's see. Woodshed Barber, what's up, dog? Happy New Year. Hey Neil. Appreciate you, man. Happy New Year, brother. Uh AJ Jones says, hey y'all. Uh You are from Tennessee. How come I never seen you before? Well, it's a big state, man. It's a big, no. I just I've always. I mean, I've cut hair in Tennessee for 23 years. Started off in Cookeville, Tennessee. I've been in Franklin now for 15 years. But, but yeah, fatal. Currently, I book my haircuts 40 to 45 minutes, but I want to offer a 30-minute cut at maybe $27. Okay. What is your 40 to 45-minute haircut price, if you don't mind me asking? Is it like 35 or 40? Just trying to kind of get my mind wrapped around it. Let's see. Neil says disappointed with the Andis Phenom. Hey, it's man. I give my opinion based off of my experience with tools. I love the Phenom for many reasons. For one thing, I love its versatility. That's probably the two main things it has going for it: versatility and price. It's affordable, especially for a clipper from Andis. It has a great build quality to it, decent battery life, good charging stand. It comes with the OG zero and purple guards. Like that's premium guard sets with clippers out of the box. I have a great appreciation for that. Um, is it the versatility is the big part for me. So the fact that I have several of those blade mags. I don't know what they want to call them. I call them blade mags because to me it's like loading a magazine in a pistol. So it's like loading a mag. Um, but I have one that has let's see, I've got a fade blade on one, the Phenom blade, a master blade one. I've got a fat master blade one. I have one with the crunch blade, the not the first crunch blade, but the blur. Yeah, it's the crunch blade, the blur crunch blade, not the blur blade, but the blur crunch blade. And I just love how you can have one clipper and interchange all that. I do like the way that the Recon cuts better, in my opinion, for me. And so I have four Recons on my station with different blade sets on those as well. Um, and so that's why, I mean, for me, Phenom won Clipper of the Year because it hit a lot of big things. I think the Recon, the Phenom hitting all the parts and the Recon also being like 289 kind of took it out of what probably would have been Clipper of the Year. It's an expensive clipper, and I have issues with $300 clippers, but for me, I mean, it's my go-to. I love it. Um, if I ever get my hands on the Saber 2, I might feel the same way about it. I don't know. I have trouble in my head paying for $300 clippers. It's just that's why I just didn't feel like I could promote that as Clipper of the Year, even though it's my favorite clipper. Um, Neil also says high vis is the hitter of the year in my view. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like it is a very, very sharp, clean hitter trimmer. I just, for me, I have very few trimmers that I only have for one thing. So, for instance, I have the Evo trimmer, the 10,000 RPM Stylecraft trimmer. I have it with the X Pro precision blade, the smaller blade on there, the gold one, and I use that for designs. So if I'm having to do a lightning bolt in somebody's head, um, any kind of like line work, that's kind of my go-to for that because it's got a small blade, it's versatile. If I don't have to do like stars and like long straight lines, that's what I'll go to because I can curve with it easy. But that's not like the only trimmer I've got on my station that's for one thing. So having just a hitter, whenever to me, like I get just as good a lines out of the M Force, out of the X Pro blade, um, the Murano blade. Once again, that Murano blade, man, it is it is something else. Um, Getting just as good a lines out of those as I did for the high vis. So for me, it just wasn't for me. And that's if you guys don't know this about me, I use this analogy with a lot of different stuff. But to me, like I say this a lot, barbers are like chicken. We taste good, not as good. Barbers are like chicken. We come in all different flavors. I may not be somebody's favorite flavor, but I'm enough people's favorite flavor to where that's for them. Clippers are kind of the same way. Clippers, it's all about personal taste, especially nowadays in this world of great tools. The way things feel in your hand, the way that they respond. I mean, I've got I know people who just still love the X Ergo from Stylecraft, which man, I, I still like that clipper. It does not get enough love for how ergonomic and how good it feels. But then you have people like, and I respect them. I'm not dissing them for saying this, but yeah, people like Sean Cut His Hair that calls it the banana clipper. It, it's all about preference. Um, to me, I mean, if it doesn't work for you, man, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not getting my butt hurt feelings. That came out real wrong. I'm not getting butt hurt feelings about anybody disagreeing with me because you don't have to agree with me. I will give you my honest opinion, and hopefully, people can just realize it's just that it's just a barber's opinion, which we have tons of those, don't we? but, um, but yeah, it's I get it, man. It disappoints some people, but the high vis is a hitter, and it's okay that I didn't like it. I'm not trying to sabotage wall. That's the thing. A lot of people on YouTube be like, "Oh, you're trying to blackball wall or sabotage wall." No, I just didn't like that tool. I have a lot of respect for wall. Honestly, the wall senior is goaded for me. It's one of the best. Let's see. Johnny the Barber, have you tried the TPOB Go Clipper? And if so, what's your honest opinion? I've not tried it yet. However, I did just order it. So there's going to be a lot of reviews. There's going to be a lot of reviews in the coming months. Um, Off the top of my head, I think I've got 8 tools in my station right now that I need to finish reviews on. Um, I'll list off some of them here in a second, whenever I can. But I haven't got the TPOB Go yet. It's on its way to me. Right now, what's coming up? I've got the Low Pro Compact Trimmer review, the Low Pro Compact Shaver review, the Andis, the new Andis Double Foil Shaver, the Pro Foil 2. I've got that review coming up. The Core Effects line from Babyliss, the clipper, trimmer, and shaver. The Go Shaver from T-Pob, the Go Clipper from T-Pob. And I have a set of shears I'm going to be reviewing and a set of clippers from the same company. You might not have heard of these guys before. I'm going to surprise y'all with that. So it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. I'll go ahead and say this. I have been cutting here lately with a trimmer that, believe it or not, it is quieter than the T-Pod Play trimmer. I never thought I'd be able to find something like that, but they sent this trimmer to me. It is even more quiet. It's it's crazy. It really is crazy. But yeah, that's what's coming up. A lot of stuff coming up. Um, let's see. What's up with the Masters 2? I've not heard anything for a little bit. The holidays for I got a hair stuck on me. Uh, the holidays kind of went radio silent for a little bit, and that's normal with companies. They give people time off and stuff. I'm testing some stuff out from them that's not that right now. I think that they are calibrating some things and making sure that it's what they want it to be before they bring it to market. But I mean, I've not heard anything about it not coming out. I just don't know when. But it should be sometime, and my guess is in the first half of 26. So we'll see. Um, but that's all I can really say about that right now. Uh, just get the MRD version of the Saber. So I've thought about that. I do have the Kimmy version, the plastic Kimmy version of that clipper. I did a review on that as well. Uh, I'm sure the MRD is probably metal like the Saber is, but a lot of MRD stuff it almost costs just as much. And I'd rather buy it from Amazon than buy it from AliExpress or or Timu or whatever. So I don't know, maybe not. See, let's see. Uh, the Phenom is heavy. Just have to get used to the weight. It is heavier, and so is the Recon. I mean, Andis likes building solid tools. They've learned from the master that's just a go-to thing for them. But yeah, it is a little heavier. I have the Murano on the Play. It is a hitter for real. Yeah, it is, man. That's a great little trimmer. Not good at balding out, but it hits. Mine does a decent job of balding out. Um, not great. It's not near as good as the M Force blade at balding out, but pretty decent. Let's see. Neil also says the Go is a beast. Not completely sold on the Architect blade. Um, I've got that ordered. I haven't used the Architect blade yet. I have started using the T-Pob Echo blade, and I am enjoying that little blade. And you guys know me, I'm not big on those Vapor style blades, but I like that one. Uh, SDG says, yo, what's up, man? Um, Andres, what's the topic of the night? Man, just talking barber and stuff, dude. We talked about barber prices for a little bit, the way you set up your shop, the way you advertise a little bit, talking about some tool stuff, questions and answers, just kind of reintroducing the new year. Let's see. AJ Jones, Senior 2 will be out soon. Senior 2? Huh. Okay. I've not heard anything about that. I'm curious. Wall hasn't really had a good sequel to anything in forever, and I I'm here for it. I'm just gonna say that I'm here for it. Let's see. Fatal says my 40 to 45-minute haircuts are at 37. So 37, and you wanted to do at 27 for the 30-minute ones? Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, that works. I mean, you could probably even do like $29 for a 30-minute appointment at that price or that kind of difference of time. But yeah, man. Fatal also says, what's your T-Pub Echo Blade setup? What clipper and what cutter are you using with it? Um, I used one of those weird shaped cutters that came with it. I can't remember which one I put on that one. But I've got it on my Play Mini for the Echo Blade. And um, Actually, I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. Hold on just one second. I'm gonna turn this and I will be right back. So I like to do stuff a little different from time to time. There we go. Um, I have three of the Play Minis. I did some surgery on one, actually on two. I got the clear Tiffany and I had the black, but I switched stuff around, took them apart, and now I've got a black and Tiffany Play Mini and a clear and black Play Mini. I bought this one for that purpose. I'm a little bit of a closeted sneakerhead. I love the dunks with the black and Tiffany, you know, the black and Tiffany dunks with the silver swoosh. And so I wanted to create this clipper. That's why I bought the Tiffany one instead of the purple one. But that also allowed me to put this one together. The way that you do that, you have to take it completely apart. The motor is mostly attached to the top part once you take this sleeve off. What you also have to do is, take the clipper arm off. There's like 6 screws holding it on there. But you take the clipper arm off, the bracket, the blade. You take that apart. You also have to unfasten something with the switch, and that allows you to because this right here should have been the till switch because it was part of the till and clear play. Actually, you can still see a little bit of it underneath there, right there. See those 2 arms right there? You can't see them on this one because it's not clear, but they're black on this one. But took it apart, reassembled, and now I've got a black and Tiffany Play Mini and a clear and black Play Mini. But my Echo Blade is on this one. And it's the darker blue. It's got the one that has the more recessed. Let me see if it's got the more recessed teeth to it. Yeah. But I really like it though. Let's see. Deep tooth ceramic with the T-Pub Echo. I've not done that. Neil says the T-Pub Echo Blade is the real deal. I'm not a big fan of the Fade Blade either, but it's great. Yeah, the Echo Blade on this one, I mean, it surprised me. I'm more of a taper blade guy. That's why I do have on this one. I do have the chunk blade on this one right here. My TPOB Echo with the blue cutters, it comes with Made It Loud. So you have to do something to the cam follower on it. I don't know if you guys watched that, but there was a mix up with the mold. You have to just kind of cut off this little. If you just search up fixing that, I'll have to show you. But yeah, there's a fix for that. You didn't do anything wrong, Fatal. Let's see. I keep saying that the best setup for any TPOB play is the Echo Steel Blade with the Magic Clip Stagger Tooth Cutting Blade. Can't beat it. I keep on hearing people say that, and I know that I hear you say that too, man. Sorry, I'm going to try to wrap this up here soon, guys. I'm sorry. I'm starting to run out of battery on my phone. Let's see. My issue with the Magic Clip Stagger Tooth is that it is too heavy and the play motor is not designed to move that heavy of a blade. It affects the torque output. I can understand that. I get that. Turn on your Mini with the Echo. You want to hear it. Okay. So play with the chunk. Play with the Echo. It's louder. It's a little bit louder, but still not much. I mean, I have my decibel meter here. Instead of 58 decibels, it's about 67. about 67 decibels. Not bad. Um, when you said Tiffany, I thought you were talking about a girl. Uh, yeah, I know a girl named Tiffany. Um, Guy in the shop has a clear top mini, and he said that you can see hair build up inside after minimal use. I don't see it, but I mean, I'm sure if you look really hard, maybe you can. I've not seen that though. Um, Taper as well. I've not gotten used to the chunk blade yet. It takes some getting used to. Yeah, I know that he said that it's supposed to feel a lot like the master blade. It does not to me, but it's the closest thing to it as far as kind of how to cut with it, how not to. Fatal once again says I cut those extra parts on the Echo Cam flower, and my mini still gets loud with the blue cutters. Now, is it with the Echo blade? Because I think the Echo blade in general is going to be a little bit louder. That thin metal on the blade, I think it resonates more. Uh, it runs too slow and it's not great with 4C hair type. Do I have that issue? I don't have that issue. Huh. So if you still have the original play cutter, try it with that to see if it's the cutting blade or the steel blade itself. That might help with that. Um, I heard the metal blue cutter makes the echo sound louder with the echo on the mini. It might, and maybe that's why mine is a little bit louder. Um, I can always just switch back, and I may do that. I don't know. I'm not really bothered by it, but I might do that. Let me check my battery real quick, guys. Just want to see where I'm at. Okay. Yeah, I might have to cut this off here in a few minutes. Um, well, guys, I have some stuff coming out soon. Do you guys enjoy this? Just this, spitballing and talking. I think that we got a big year ahead of us. I'm looking forward to some things from Andis. I'm looking forward to getting a hold of the Go from T-Pob. Um, I don't know of anything coming out that's new except for maybe different color things from Babyliss just yet. That could always change. But I'm excited for the year, man. I think that this past year was crazy. I'll probably probably my next live. I'm gonna just discuss the brands a little bit. You know, some brands had some stellar years. Some brands kind of petered off this year. Um, I haven't heard from some of these companies in a little bit, and we don't know what we're gonna be doing with that. See, Johnny the Barber. Let's see what we got right here. Do you ever sell some of the clippers trimmers you don't use anymore that I've done reviews on? I've not yet, for comparison purposes. I do have. You can see a lot of them here behind me, but I always want to keep at least one of everything. That way, I can compare. But I've contemplated it. I was really excited to get the chunk, but it's been a disappointment. Not giving up on it yet. Yeah, keep working with it, man. I'm not really disappointed in it. It's just it doesn't have the same feel as the Master, and I don't think anything ever will. The Master's special. That's a special blade. The Go is kind of better than the T45. I use the T45 with it, and it's great, lighter, and more ergonomic for me. You know, I saw some comparison with this. So look, I'm not gonna shit on anybody. I think that T-Pop's got his methods. I'm I'm done talking about that stuff. I'm done talking about how he addresses stuff until he comes after me. I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. But his tools, he's got great tools. Um Babeless, same thing, great tools. I do think it was interesting though how many similarities there are between the Go and the T45. Like, you've got power button, You've got a button that takes it up a notch. Uh, I don't know. I mean, that may be where they end, but it has like the wraparound grip. Very similar tooling, but of course, very different at the same time. So I can't wait to get a hold of it, man. I ordered the white one. Let's see. Let's see. Is the Master 2 coming out soon for Mandus? Also, I recently purchased the gold NV2. Absolutely love it with the Master Blade on it. Yeah, man. I mean, that MV2 with the Master Blade, it's a good go-to. Master 2 wise, I've not heard anything. Possibly. I just don't know. Uh, it should be probably sometime in early 26 in the first half of the year. Fatal says, I use the T45 guards with the Go and Play Mini. I really like them. Those T45 guards are my favorite guards right now, man. Um, they're my go-to guard. The I still use the purple OG guards with my Andis tools, but anything I touch with a wall style blade, I'm grabbing those T45s. That is they did a lot of work with that, and I understand what they did with that because you didn't need that much comb on that guard. The way it curves in to kind of emulates the fat blade in a little bit in a way. Kind of has the same kind of angle and arch to it. I really love those guards, man. Paige, what's up, brother? I mean, long time dude right there. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Good evening to all. Let's see, Johnny the Barber. One last question from me. Sorry, man. Have you heard of the Suprint Storm Gray combo? I have, and I'm wanting to review those here soon. I got it earlier this week, and it's very underrated. Would love to see you do a review on them. Yeah, okay. That's on the list of stuff I want to look at. The ergonomics is better with the Go. Yeah, I love the T45 for a lot of things, but the ergonomics is not one of them for me. Fatal says also the Go